in the last election. 1 year to the election, 2017. Let's take a look at the Standard headline at that time. Scramble for top public positions. Recruitments and former members of parliament, senior civil servants, among 120 people shortlisted to be principal secretaries, sought for the 4,000 out of the 4,000 applicants. Now that was the headline back in 2017, just before the election. Same day today, look out for another headline from the last election, 1 year to the election. So this was about the scramble for top public positions. All right, now to our discussion. Eden Duale, former majority leader in the National Assembly, and of course, he's still a member of parliament for Garissa Township. Thank you very much for coming tonight on News Hour. New look KTN, you like it?
Yo, yeah. It's one of the oldest media houses. Most of the journalists and news anchors in Kenya, I'm sure, must have passed
through here.
KTN.
Yeah.
You just need to follow the regulations and the conditions given to you when CAK gave you the license.
What do you mean? Where are you heading with that?
No, I'm heading that, you know, if you want to support one political, during now the electioneering period, if you want to support a certain political formation or candidate, there's nothing wrong. You just declare like...
Come out and declare.
Like in the US, Fox News is known for supporting Republican presidents, so there's nothing wrong.
With
nothing.
That. And others try to be
I'm not saying KTN
is not balanced, because otherwise you wouldn't be here tonight.
Yeah, KTN is balanced.
We're glad. Let me take you to yesterday's State of the Nation address.
Yes.
It's been analyzed back and forth. We've spoken about it. But I'm interested in a video that has been online.
Yes.
The President, you are making a very big statement, a very bold statement, loaded statement about the judiciary and the President's statement.
Yes.
Then suddenly the President is walking behind you, and you can't speak anymore.
No, I mean, you know, I was facing a camera, NTV camera, and with Mreithi. Yes, yeah. And all of a sudden, the camera moved away from me. It moved away to the other side. To the other side.
Yeah.
So then I had to look back. What's happening? Then I realized the President was passing.
Wait, I think from where you stand, that statement you're making, you didn't want to make it in the President.
No. I made it on the floor of the House today, and I can make it here.
You are protected on the floor of the House.
No. I will make it here.
But you are protected.
You know, Ken.
Yes.
You know me. I mean, I have been around for some time. And from my background, I like saying the way it is. I have never sugarcoated it. So if you ask me what I was saying yesterday, I'll say it here. And I can even say it, of course, there's a lot of respect to the President. I mean, I have a very long history, political history, with President Uhuru Kenyatta over the last 13 years. But why that video went, I'll tell you, was that I realized the camera I was facing. It's like this is a character. If this camera moves to another place, then I'll wonder what happens. I mean, I have been covered by media for the last 10 years. So when the camera moved, I realized, oh, this guy wanted to shoot. But I think NTV should have had 2 or 3 cameras.
To cover that?
Yes.
But
so that they leave it. And I really wanted them, you know, to continue so that the President can hear.
No, you are lost in thoughts also because you were stammering. There's something that was in the gallery.
No, I never stammer. But you know, the moment a camera moves and you don't know why it has moved, then any human being will lose the flow of his thoughts.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you meet the President? Do you talk to the President? You're the majority leader. You supported his agenda in Parliament for so long.
You know, I supported the agenda of government by virtue of me being the leader of majority, a constitutional office created by the 2010 Constitution. And there are a number of times and I had the privilege, you know, to sit with the President and agree on what is in the best interest of the country. Not only me, with the Speaker, with the other leadership, but now that I am a ranking member,
yes.
Courtesy of Speaker Muturi, part of his reforms. And this is what we borrowed from the U.S. Senate and Congress. Today, if you go to the U.S. Congress, members of Congress who served for 30, 40 years, they sit in one row. I mean, their seats are marked. So I am a ranking member. And what is the work of a ranking member? One of the functions of a ranking member is to make sure that his contribution enriches and guides the House. So as much as I will agree with what the President said, which are right, I am also under obligation as a ranking member to say that the President fell short of these issues that are dear to the people of Kenya.
Okay. Not because you support Deputy President William Ruto.
No, I mean, supporting Deputy President William Ruto is not a crime.
It's not a crime, definitely.
And I have no apologies to make. And it's not the first time. I mean, I worked a journey of, with William Ruto for the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. I mean, we formed with him URP. We were the founder members of Jubilee. And we are currently the founder members of
Would you
UDA.
criticize the president the same way you did yesterday if you were still the majority leader in the National Assembly? Would you make such loaded statements?
No, you know what happens? If I was still the majority leader, I will participate before the president comes to the House. I had the opportunity to discuss with the president some of the issues that he's going to raise. Yes, okay. He used to consult us.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So it will be different.
It will be different.
You said something.
But again, for you, let me ask you.
Yes.
I mean, you expect me, now that I'm a ranking member and in the backbench, you expect me now, ironically, to behave like the way I used to behave when I was the leader of majority. You know, very interestingly, when I joined Parliament in 2007, I joined the cabinet bench. I was an assistant minister. Then midway, I was relieved of my duties. I became a backbencher. Then I came back as the leader of majority. And now I'm back to the backbench. So I'm very familiar with the terrain in the chamber of being in government and speaking for government and being in the backbench and speaking as a minority.
You have been on both sides.
No, I know. I have experience.
You said something when I asked you about that statement and supporting the president's agenda. You said the reason you supported the president's agenda is because you were the majority leader by the virtue of that constitutional office that you were given. So you supported the agenda of the Jubilee government.
Yes, but you know, I had the privilege, by being the leader of majority, to do prior consultation. I'll tell you of a number of legislation that we advised the president that we should not go ahead with. I can give you an example. When Ambassador Monica was the PS Interior, there was a bill that was brought to the House for the scrapping of IPOA. And the chair of then, now is a member of the Judicial Service Commission. I think, I can't remember his name.
Macharia.
Macharia is if he's watching me. Yes. And I had to go back to the president and told him, no, I don't think this is fair. And the president agreed with us. So there are a number of issues. So when I was the leader of majority, I had a very good working relationship with the president, with the Attorney General, both Professor Githu Muigai and the current Attorney General Kihara. And we used to, with the Solicitor General, Njay Muturi, the Speaker, and Speaker Muturi, and we used to, and the clerk, and we used to say...
So you were privy to all this?
Yes. So we used to see what is the reducible minimum, what is in the interest of the people of Kenya.
Okay.
Yes. But now I don't have that privilege.
Okay. But don't you think, as a citizen of the country, as a ranking member, as a senior person in Parliament, I think you've done 3 terms, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Don't you think what should have been top of your mind is I supported the Jubilee agenda because I believed in it, not because I was a majority leader? Don't you think that would count to Kenya?
No, of course. By being a founder member of the Jubilee Party and administration from 2013, I believed in the manifesto of the Jubilee Party. I believed in the agenda of government. But you know, those who worked in government like me, there are times you are caught between a hard place and, a rock and hard place, where the interest of even your own constituency comes into play. And that's why if you have the privilege to consult with the president, with the leadership in the cabinet, with the Attorney General, in processing government bills, you can agree on certain parameters before it comes to the floor.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Away from that, you a staunch supporter of the deputy president. It's not a crime.
No, we are partners.
Your partners,
Yes.
and I wonder the framework for your partnership, because the deputy president is not going with political parties, he's going with the hustlers. So you're a partner as a hustler or partner as a stakeholder?
No. We have a political party called UDA, and we have an agenda of the bottom-up economic model, and we want to completely reconfigure the politics, the manifesto of the Kenyan political landscape, do it differently from the way it used to be done before. So we are not following the deputy president just because he's called William Ruto. We are not following the deputy president just because he's from the Rift Valley and he's a Kalenjin. We are following the deputy president because we have an agenda, and we feel under his leadership, we will transform and implement the bottom-up economic model. And that for the first time, the narrative and the discussion will be about the ordinary citizens and not the political elite.
What is your position in URP?
In
UDA, sorry.
UDA.
What is your position?
No. I mean, I told you now I'm a founder member, but because nominally I am a member of Jubilee until I finish my term.
Yes.
You know, serving the people of Garissa. But I'm sure by April next year, when the Political Parties Act will give us that window, you will see the new leadership that will be put in place, beginning with our party leader, the deputy president, and our presidential flag bearer. Yes.
Okay. The reason why I'm bringing this point, you are partner William Ruto, and
yes.
you staunch.
Not only me, all of
not
us.
Only yes, but I'm with you here,
yes.
so I'll talk about you.
Yes.
As the deputy president's partner, founding member of that party, and this is not the first time we're having a conversation about the deputy president. I always remind people, this conversation we had in Garissa in 2012.
Yes.
And you told me clearly that we're going to win the election.
Yes.
You still maintain we're going to win the election.
Yes.
You were quoted as not trusting politicians by a newspaper, that you within that space, you are even careful with the people that are around you. That statement, for me, it could have been taken out of context, but the reason why you're here is to explain you're working with a partner that you don't trust.
No. I mean, you know, the difference between a TV show and a newspaper headline are fundamental. I mean, a TV show, people can see you talking. So when I did that interview with Justice Wanga, I think of the Daily Nation.
Justice Wanga.
Yes. Was primarily on the politics of deceit and betrayal, which is a common denominator within the Kenyan political architecture. You start with the late Jaramogi Odinga said, I will not take my position in forming the first independent government until Kenyatta is released. What happened? I mean, Jaramogi was left. I mean, Jaramogi was humiliated. Jaramogi suffered until he was detained and all that. You look at President Moi. President Moi, I think, was one deputy of vice president then who was also humiliated during President Kenyatta's leadership. You come to the many vice presidents who served under President Moi. You know, Moi Kibaki, a man I have a lot of respect for. George Saitoti, you know, the way he was, the way he was, George was humiliated in Kasarani. Then come to the NAC government. I mean, come to the Grand Coalition government. I mean, I was a member of ODM. I mean, the story of the Nusum Keka, you know, Prime Minister Raila Odinga could not, you know, that was out of frustration, you know. Then come to even the second part of the, I mean, no, in fact, go to NAC when Prime Minister Raila Odinga said the Kibaki Tosha, once Kibaki was in the State House. And all this, you know, is happening not because of the president.
Okay.
It's happening because of the people around that. And then come finally to William Ruto. I mean, William Ruto, I think, will go in history. And those of us who will write our memos, I mean, we will have a number of chapters as one person who has been humiliated, disrespected, both in person and his office.
Yes.
And I think mainly this is because of the people who are around the president. So I was saying in the context that betrayal, deceit, failed MOUs are common denominators. So within that context, I don't think there are many people in Kenya, particularly the political class, who will say 100%
that they trust someone.
Yes.
Okay.
But and that's why we don't want to go into a coalition as UDA. We want to form a national party where every Kenyan will have a space and will have a voice.
Don't you think that's a clever thing that is done by the deputy president, so that you can't make claims when he becomes president? Because we are not in a coalition, we are partners, but I am a greater partner. You know, that's a gimmick by the deputy president.
You know, coalition now will lead us to MOUs.
Written MOUs.
And you know, and then the question that comes is, we have a narrative, we have a group we are working with. Our manifesto, our agenda is about the Hustler nation.
Okay.
And we don't want to divide the Hustler into regional, ethnic, and religious political groupings. We want to make sure that all Hustlers, regardless of their community and ethnic configuration, regardless of the region they come from, and regardless of even their faith, they'll all call UDA their home.
Okay.
Yes.
This morning when I called you, actually yesterday when I called you to ask you to come for the show,
yes,
I had to follow it up with a poster, a written poster, and send it to you.
Yes.
And you saw there's a show that is going to happen.
Yes.
It was written.
Yes.
So if you didn't come for my show, I'm able to say Eden Duale said he's coming, but he didn't come.
Yes.
You're going into a partnership that you don't need anything written. You're going with the word of mouth that we promise you this shall happen. That's what you're doing. Yet,
no, with the deputy president.
Yeah.
But I told you, everything we're doing as partners.
And written. He can say tomorrow, I don't know Eden Duale. Where did we discuss this?
No.
Yeah.
You know, the one that he can deny me is if I've come through a small party as a coalition.
So you're going into a big party?
No. We have one huge party, national party.
What stops him from suspending you? I mean, if for example, if you don't win Garissa Township, where you are,
yes.
If you don't win, he will definitely, you're instrumental. You've been appointed minister. You don't perform, but you're a partner. What stops him from saying...
No. I mean, when you get to public office, we are looking for government, okay? Mm-hmm. Once we form government, and not only me, everybody who will get the privilege and the opportunity to serve the people of Kenya under the UDA government, whether in the legislature or in the executive, the scorecard will be performance. There will be a performance. So it's not about, even the president, William Ruto, we will hold him to account on the scorecard of performance. So from the president to the smallest person must perform.
Must perform.
Yes.
So that would be the basis.
Yes.
I'm going to talk about the scorecard of a Jubilee Party, because I feel there's double speak within the camp of Deputy President William Ruto. But before I talk about that, I want to get something out of the way. You are also admonished when you talked about women leadership and even Kadi, not having a female Kadi, you know. It was a big issue that how can you, a progressive leader such as Eden Duale, why wouldn't you support women taking positions of leadership within the Muslim organizations?
You know, Islam is a way of life. Everything that a Muslim does from morning to evening, even when he's going to bed, is documented either in the Holy Quran or in the teachings of the Prophet. Mm-hmm. So for a Muslim, and more so for me, who is a serious practicing Muslim,
yes,
we ascribe to the teachings of the Quran and the teachings of the Quran and the practice of the Holy Prophet, may be peace be upon him. And we have no space to circumvent that teaching.
What is in the Quran?
And in the teaching of the Quran, as provided for even in the Constitution, the functions of the Qadi are threefold. One, to conduct the Islamic marriage called nikah. And two, to also conduct and listen during divorce proceedings. And the third one is in the event there is a dispute in the inheritance of wealth among the family of the deceased, then the Qadi will only use, because even the inheritance, and that's why you don't see us Muslims in court over inheritance, because it's very, very clear the portion that will be given to the sons, the daughters, the mother of the deceased, the wives or wife. So, and that's why there is no place for a woman to become Qadi. It has never happened in the world, since the world began. It has never happened in Islamic jurisdiction.
Okay.
And the Constitution of Kenya 2010 gives us the right as Muslims to decide on how that is done in accordance with our religion. So our religion has no space for a woman to be a chief Qadi.
Okay.
That will not happen. And if that will make me not be a progressive leader, so be it.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, that constitution you're holding, the first thing I subscribe to is the teachings of the Holy Quran, and the teaching
comes second.
No, it comes second.
It comes second.
Yes.
However, as a member of parliament,
yes,
I'm looking at Article 170.
Yes.
Article 170
yes,
does not talk about gender. However, I can take you to the articles of the Constitution that talks about equality, that talks about gender.
What does 170 say?
The only thing that 170 says that I think would relate to what you say prohibits anyone who's not a Muslim to hold that position. But doesn't talk about gender.
No, then you need to go to the Act.
The Act, Enabling Act. Now, that's my point. Yes. As a member of parliament, don't you think, I mean, you've talked about progressive leadership. Yes. Don't you think if you are interested, and it could begin from you, to institute changes in the subsidiary
No, but let me tell you.
That will bring that up.
But let me tell you.
Yes.
The document you're holding is the Constitution.
Yes.
It's been made by people like me and you.
Exactly.
But the Quran is the book of God, and nobody can amend it.
Okay.
It's 114 chapters. You can make it 113, you can make it 115. So the basis I am telling you, and this 170, Article 170 has just picked from the Quran. And that's why Kenya is one of the very few countries that have, and I think the framers of the Constitution, we really want to thank them. They have realized the importance of the Muslim community in exercising, because even if it is not here in 170, I can tell you, and one of the reasons why I voted for this Constitution were twofold. That the provision of the Qadi's Court and the evolution. So I think we don't need to argue much about it. I mean, I'm not a Muslim, yes, I can't. This is in the Quran. Yes. And I'm even saying it now to everybody. Please, the Chief Justice and Judicial Service Commission. It should not happen. They cannot try. They have, they have no space. They have no powers to appoint a woman. And that does not at all deny me or portray me as somebody who is anti-women, anti-progressive laws. Okay. I mean, I support... But you're not against women having positions of leadership. That should be clear. No. I mean... It's only when it goes to Yes. Okay. Islam allows women. Yeah. If there is a religion that has placed women at the highest place, is Islam. Even the mother of Jesus Mary has a whole chapter in the Quran. So there are more there's more mentioning of women in the Quran than even than men.
Okay.
So Islam respects and has a special place
For women leadership.
and even, you know, if I share with you that there's a special place for mothers in Islam, that you must get a lot of blessings from your mother, from your grandmother, more than even your father and grandfather.
That the people can curse you.
Yes.
Or make you.
Yes.
I understand that, even as a practicing Christian.
So please don't go to me.
Except in areas like Afghanistan, where they don't value, and it's predominant.
No.
They don't value women leadership.
No, I don't want to go into.
Okay.
I don't want to go into Afghanistan.
Okay.
That's another complex issue.
Okay, but you understand. So one thing that I don't see you speaking a lot about, even as you try to build UDA, is the fact that there's a big constituency out here that no one talks about. Right now, everyone is talking about the presidential candidate must find a running mate from Central Kenya. The Muslim community is one of the biggest communities.
Yes.
Why don't we have conversations about if any candidate, Raila Odinga, William Ruto, Musalia Mudavadi, Gideon Moi, whoever wants to run, would get a running mate from this constituency, their home and dry? Why don't we have people talking about it?
You know, particularly for presidential candidates and for serious presidential candidates of the likes of William Ruto and Raila Odinga for 2022 and even the previous elections, you must win by adding numbers. Numbers matter.
Yeah.
So numbers matter, the individual votes. Counties matter because you must win in 24 of the 25 of the 47
yeah.
counties. And Central Kenya have produced 3 of the 4 presidents of the Republic of Kenya. And I think now I have been very uncomfortable if we had a candidate from Central Kenya this year, because it could have been very monotonous. So for you to get the highest number, for you to get the turnout in Mount Kenya region, and for you to get the winning formula and the winning numbers and arithmetics, you cannot assume that Mount Kenya doesn't exist. And that is why I say this is a problem with a presidential system of government. I mean, I was a person who believed in a parliamentary system of government. That was the ideology of ODM since 2007. They have only dropped it after the handshake, you know. When they shook the hand with President Uhuru Kenyatta, they have realized now they can win through a presidential. Because the stability of any nation is through a parliamentary system and equity for leadership, so that even the smallest of the smallest in our country, if the party feels Ken Mijungu, who comes from Turkana, has the talent, the competency, the leadership qualities, then we can present him as a party to be our prime minister. Okay?
Yeah.
But a presidential system is where you have the tyranny of numbers.
You must
in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And the tyranny of numbers, speaking from the Jubilee point of view, was Rift Valley and
Mount Kenya. Yeah.
Now that you know, the first strategy for the UDA is first to make sure that our 2013 and 2017 traditional
voting
bloc
yeah. In the bag.
Are intact.
Yes.
And then that's why you see us making forays into coast, western, and Kisii, and eastern.
But a lot of
and you have
Mount
seen,
Kenya region.
and you have seen, yes, of course, Mount Kenya region. And I want to thank the president. At least he has helped us. The handshake has helped us dismantle the NASA fraternity. You know, so now we can easily go to Western and form an alliance with the leadership, and or go get some part of the cake, go to coast, because NASA is no more. To resuscitate it is going to be very difficult. So if you look at from a political point of view, the tyranny of number is the one that gives Mount Kenya that they are placed in a running mate. Without that, then you need to go back to the drawing board.
What you're telling me,
Yes.
Leader,
Yes.
this evening, is that even because I believe the second biggest religion in Kenya is Islam.
Yeah. We are 30%.
30%?
Yes.
30% is bigger. 30% is bigger than Central Kenya.
No. If you look at I want you to go and get the voting voters register. Mm-hmm. Mount Kenya has about 4.6, both Central and
Lower.
No, Central and the diaspora.
Okay.
About 4.6. You know, the guys will talk about 6 million. That is not there, 4.6. Mm-hmm. So in terms of registered voters in our country, mm-hmm. Mount Kenya has the highest.
Highest, yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. If there was equity and the implementation and cognizant of Article 10 of the Constitution of National Values,
yes.
I mean, the tyrant of a number should not be a platform to leadership. I mean... It shouldn't. It shouldn't
But you have to win, so it is.
And you know why?
Yes.
And that's why, as UDA, we are trying to run away from that. You know, all our successive elections were mainly based on ethnic mobilization. You know, ethnic politics.
All of them.
All of them. Ethnic politics.
All of them, yes.
And if that is a threat, the biggest threat to the stability of our nation.
But Leader, don't run away from my question. Even with that big constituency, why don't we have not a woman, even a man from your faith? Because this is a big constituency.
No, leaders too. What's wrong with you? There are many. I mean, there are many people, but I'm talking about serious candidates. Mm-hmm. And give us a break. I mean, you know, that's why we're saying, mm-hmm. let us have two serious political parties.
Okay.
Unfortunately, President Uhuru Kenyatta really was, with the deputy, the people behind the formation of Jubilee as a national party. But today, unfortunately, there is a mushrooming of regional and ethnic political parties.
Once again, unfortunately.
Yes, unfortunately, and that is a threat to the stability of our country.
Okay, what is the biggest Euro partner, I believe very senior, right at the top of UDA? What is the biggest consideration? Is it what you're talking about that you'll make when picking a running mate? The biggest is the fact that it's a huge voting base. Is that the biggest consideration that UDA is going to make?
No. I mean... when the time comes, we are going to have we'll unveil our running mate. But I can tell you, at the heart of UDA and at the heart of winning the next election, both the rank and the file members of UDA are cognizant of the importance of the voters in Mount Kenya for two reasons. One, it's our traditional bloc. I mean... 2 elections only. How can it be traditional? No. It's 2 elections. No, 3 elections.
Which one?
I mean, even in 2007...
we on this side.
No, but I'm saying, even in 2007, we were too different. But in 2002, President Uhuru did not get substantial, but he got at least Kiambu and few, but Rift Valley and the pastoralists voted for Kanu. So any serious politician, any serious presidential candidate under a presidential system where the tyranny of numbers counts cannot ignore Mount Kenya.
I understand. Yes. So that's the biggest consideration.
Yes.
You have practiced politics for 15 years. You're going to the next 5. And there are 3 regions in this country that you've mentioned. The voting and the winning of elections has always been centered around those 3 regions. The Rift Valley region, big voting block, 3.6 million in the last election. Central Kenya, lower and upper, about 4.6 million.
Yes.
Nyanza, about 2.6 million.
Yes.
Forget about Western, 2.2 in the last election.
Yes.
The interesting thing is that Rift Valley, Mount Kenya region, and Nyanza always vote as a bloc to the man, except for the other positions, for president. So in the coming election, the metrics that you want, and the reason why there's so many forays in that traditional base, is you have to capture Central. If Central is safe with Rift Valley, you believe you can win. Is that the reason why you're pitching camp in Central? Forget about the other regions that you're looking at.
No. We are not pitching camp in Central. The Deputy President has done, by today, close to about 197 rallies in the last 2 months. Okay? And if you look at it, we have been to Western 3 times, we have been to Coast, we have been to Kisii, we have been to Mount Kenya, we have just come back from...
How many times to Mount Kenya, leader?
No, I mean, you know, because Mount Kenya, part of Mount Kenya is very close to us here. When we are in Nairobi on a weekday, we can
even walk to
we can cover Kiambu, we can cover Murang'a.
So that's why, okay.
So we're covering all. The only region that we have left, and now we are going to start, is the pastoralist area, and it was because of the drought. I mean, that region had a very severe drought the last 8 months. Now, God is great, it has rained, so we will. And you can see today, I think barely 2 weeks ago, we're in Makueni. And today the Deputy President covered 11 rallies in Machakos County again.
Okay.
We will do another 9 tomorrow. That's 20 in 2 days. So we want to cover, and we have not yet started our serious campaign. We have not yet started. This is just a warm-up.
And you're already doing 200
yes,
2 months.
Yes,
that's 100 per month.
I want to assure you
about 30 a day.
I want to assure you that we will do a campaign that has never been seen in this country. But the reason why we are doing this is that we want to win by minimum 2 million votes.
Okay. You want to be ahead by 2 million.
So that it happens like 2 or 2, nobody goes to Supreme Court. Okay. The runners-up just go to Serena and...
send congratulatory message.
Yes. And I mean, we want to do that. We don't want to win by the way we won on 2013, 8,000 votes to the mark 50+1.
Okay. I'm going to play the video of the week. Usually we play it much later. But I want to play it right now because it will form the basis of
I hope it's not the one of yesterday.
No, it's not the one. No, that one we are past. Let's play the video of the week, then when we come back. All right, as we look for the video of the week, it's very interesting because the metrics in Central Kenya, once again, is going to be complicated. And if it's complicated, the pundits say that the winning for Deputy President William Ruto is effectively undermined because William Ruto is not even running as a Rift Valley candidate. You know, he's not saying, this is my background, this is my stronghold, so I'm running as Rift Valley. He's running as a Mount Kenya candidate. But I'll ask you all those questions after this video.
A very good observation.
Ulikuja waambie huyu ni mzee hafai, tunataka kijana, sijui huyu ni ako namna hii, huyu ako namna hii, huyu ako namna ile. Mtu anachagua na bongo bana, mtu achagui na uongozi uko hapa. Sio uongozi, sio mpira ya kuchezwa kwa kiwanja. Uongozi sio sprint, ni marathon. Wewe utakimbia hapa, by the time umefika pale pumzi imeisha, lakini mzee amekanyanga polepole akuja kupitia ukiwa bado kwa barabara. Tunaelewana wenzangu? Mos.
Leader, was this an endorsement by the president for Raila Odinga?
No, I think the president doesn't need to use parables to endorse Raila Odinga. The president can just say, my candidate for 2022 general election is my elder brother, former prime minister. But the president is describing, I think, the UDA brigade and the deputy president are those who are sprinting. And Baba and his team are in marathon.
It's not even the first. You remember the relay, the baton?
No,
yes,
the marathon.
Time, yes.
But I want to assure the president that with the energy we have and the capacity we have, we will finish this race sprinting. We are not ready for marathon. So he better tell the prime minister or the other person that these guys will sprint until August 8th, 2022. We are not ready. We are not going to sleep. So and you see the president saying most. The president trying to tell us, you guys are too fast. You guys will kill this Mzee. This Mzee can't run at your pace. Even he's pleading, the president is pleading. If you read the context, the president is saying, this race has started slowly. The guys who are competing with Baba are very fast. If the Baba has to run at the pace we are, he's the one who's going to lose Pumzi and everything. So the president indirectly is telling us, most, go slow for Baba to catch up with you. But we are politicians. I mean, we form parties and agendas and right now, you know, we are with the hustlers. So we are on really sprint. So he has to tell his.
So that's an effective endorsement.
You know, all indications are clear that the president's choice is not William Ruto, and we respect it. And we have no problem with it, and we respect the president for his opinion on who is to inherit. Even though, unfortunately, because in 2013, I remember we had a chat with President Kibaki, and a man I have a lot of respect for, just like President Uhuru Kenyatta. And Kibaki said, in a meeting where I was, he said, and talked to the current president, the deputy, and he said, you guys, you have all my support. You can get resources, but it's the people of Kenya to decide.
Okay.
Whoever will win, I will hand over the instruments of power to him. So I expected, because the President Uhuru Kenyatta, as he said yesterday, he has done a lot of things. I mean, his government, us included, William Ruto included, that we have made a lot of achievements. It could have been very good for President Uhuru Kenyatta, because, you know, the president is talking about yesterday about political stability. Political stability does not mean when you only shake hands with one side of the political divide, that is ODM and Raila Odinga. What happens to that same political stability when you sideline your deputy with all his supporters across the country and his constituency?
Did he?
No, he did. I mean,
has he sidelined the deputy president?
Ken, if there is one person who has humility, who has been humiliated, insulted, both in character and person, and the office he holds, is William Ruto. I mean, in fact, there is nothing remaining under the sun that will happen to William Ruto. I mean, and I'm sure when historians, and I always tell William Ruto, please, in the event God gives you the presidency, do not allow you or people around you to humiliate the office of the deputy president who you are elected together. And that is why I think the men and women who drafted our constitution, I have a lot of respect for. They knew this from history. And that's why they insulated, they ring-fenced the office of the deputy president.
Don't you think that...
Imagine if today that insulation is not there.
He would have left. He would have been...
So I think William Ruto is a serious leader. Some of us, we support him because he has a track record when he was the Minister for Agriculture, when he was the Minister for Higher Education, when the first 5 years when he worked with President Kenyatta.
Okay.
Until second year, you know, until yesterday the President confirmed that the B4 agenda, and most of the housing aspect of it, faced challenges, headwinds, as a result of, you know, these BBI nonsense and the fake handshake.
Okay. My question is, don't you think that coin can be flipped? And you would say the deputy president has also humiliated his boss.
How?
By going around and talking about the missed successes that the Jubilee government has done, the handshake that he shouldn't have done, the opportunities that he's creating for someone externally that he should have created for someone internally, with all the voters who voted for Jubilee. I mean, you're talking about your boss in public.
No. What the deputy president is saying is this, is that we had a plan 2013, 2017, we had a specific plan. Build the infrastructure, build energy, connect millions to power connectivity, build TTIs for skilled manpower, introduce free maternity, improve. This government has done a lot in terms of securing our country by investing in intelligence and investing in the security sector. Then the second plan that the Deputy President and the President projected in his second term was a big four. Based on what we did in the first term, now we can do better housing for employment, do the universal health care. And that's why even here I'm telling you, the Deputy President was saying, yes, we went into some issues that were not a priority for the Jubilee then. The new constitutional moment, as the President calls it, the handshake. So then we missed the steps. Okay. And that's why I'm saying, even when we form government next year, we will not leave the four big agenda. We will pick from where President Uhuru Kenyatta has left. President Uhuru Kenyatta, if you ask me, has done a lot. But all that legacy can be messed up, can go down the drain, can make the people of Kenya not remember if he gets involved in the murky succession politics.
Actually, that's something you speak about a lot, but I'll still go back to my question. The fact that he's exposing his boss and the reasons why, by saying the reasons why we have not succeeded is because of the handshake.
But is it true? It's true.
So it's okay to expose your boss if you
no. Let me tell you, that's not exposing. We must address the Jubilee 8 million who voted for us and their families. Because we told them in our second term, we will deal with the 4-key agenda. Okay. The President Uhuru Kenyatta now is going home. He's not going to talk to the Jubilee voters. He's not going to ask for votes. So it is the Deputy President. And he must tell our voters, our supporters, and the country that you guys, yes, we went into headwinds. We had challenges in the implementation of the 4-key agenda. And the reason is because of the BBI, is because of the handshake. Okay. Yeah.
So he's okay to do it. You, apart from being a politician, you're a businessman. You work with a lot of people.
Yes.
If I worked for you today and I walked out, would I ask you for recommendation?
No. No. In fact, a very good business corporate entity, even the lowest of the managers will have his voice considered in a meeting.
Exactly. Yeah. But if I walked out, would I go to an organization and tell the organization, I can vouch for this person? I cannot vouch for Ken when he worked for me.
No. I mean, let me tell you. 2013, when we won the elections, it's President Uhuru Kenyatta who told us and the Deputy President, you guys don't sit. Go every weekend so that we can win the next election.
That's where the Tangatanga came from?
No, that was the first time.
Okay,
the Deputy President used to go, to every weekend from Friday, selling government agendas, opening government projects.
He was a political winner.
No, the President told us, you guys, I have to win the next term.
Yeah.
Now that the President is coming at the end of his term, the President must, the President took us to Jubilee, a party that won 175 seats, equivalent to ANC and CCM. The President cannot say, Deputy President now, don't go. He knows the Deputy President wants to succeed him. And I think everywhere you see, every mature democracy, in the US, in UK, our neighbors here, ANC, every president and every party in power must have a succession plan. What we are saying now in Kenya is for the ruling party going over the fence to ask the opposition to be part of its succession plan. It has never happened, Ken.
But the fact that
has never happened.
Does it mean it's
and
wrong?
Does it mean it's wrong? That is a clear politics of deceit and betrayal.
Okay.
And that makes some of us that we will work with William Ruto
To the end.
to the wire.
Granted.
Yeah.
My question again, would you give a recommendation to a potential employer that this is someone I've worked with and I can vouch for them, this is the right person? And would you also say with the same whim that don't give this person a job because I have worked with them, I know them?
But have you ever seen President Uhuru Kenyatta saying, I have a problem with William Ruto? He has committed...
He only talks about printing ahead.
No. He's committed... You know, he has not told us that William Ruto has committed 1, 2, 3, 4 crimes against...
He's never.
Yes.
He's never.
So these
but
are...
He's gone to Raila and recommending Raila.
No. Even Raila is talking about arrest. I mean, you know, that's why I'm telling you. And the president is within his constitutional...
Exactly.
Freedom given to him. So, I mean, some of us have worked with President Uhuru Kenyatta. So we have shared, you know, it's like, it's not something you can just throw it. So we have a lot of respect for him.
Okay.
We wish him well as he prepared to retire. It could have been very good if he picks not William Ruto, any of the leadership of the ruling party.
Yes.
But, you know, to dismantle, to allow people to dismantle and destroy a national party.
Okay.
And tell me, I mean, you are one of the guys have a lot of respect. Tell me which government ruling party in the world, including the China Communist Party, that said, no, we must give power and do the transition to the opposition.
Okay. As we finish, I promised to talk about the campaign rhetoric that we hear.
Yeah.
Jubilee has done...
No, you need to talk about what we have with the Chief Justice.
Yes, I'm going to talk about it,
yes.
yes. But this, as we finish this discussion, the rhetoric, just based on the Jubilee. Jubilee has done nothing since the handshake. Our government with Uhuru Kenyatta did a lot in the first term. Then today in Ukambani he says that he's campaigning on the Jubilee record. So once again I ask you the question, up to the first term, the second term is...
No, in fact, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Jubilee has done a lot in the second term in terms of our previous, you know, the infrastructure. Okay. Still continuing. I mean, that's
like
why you
the
see
one out here.
the expressway. The reconstruction of the railway line up to Kisumu, Bomet, up to Malaba. The transition of making sure that every child goes to the Jubilee program. The new curriculum.
100% transition.
Yes, more
yeah.
TTIs are being built. Where we are saying the 4 flagship projects
okay.
have a bit stalled. And even the president confirmed yesterday.
That. Okay.
And I think the deputy president always talks about the big 4. Nobody is saying, and that's why even today on the floor of the House I said, the achievement of President Uhuru Kenyatta's government, which we are part of, is up to now.
Okay.
I mean, you cannot say the achievements of the Jubilee government it belongs to one person or to one section. No.
Okay.
It belongs also, whatever achievement the president and the government has done, the deputy president sits in the cabinet. He approves the policy documents.
All right.
Yes.
Away from that, this past week we have seen a lot of developments. We've seen the multi-sectoral committee that is in charge of the election.
Yes.
You have been in the Jubilee government for 2 successive terms, right?
Yes. Yes.
I never heard one time the Jubilee government criticizing the presence of Chief Justice David Maraga sitting in that multi-sectoral committee that is in charge of the election. In fact, Maraga sometimes would decide to delegate that obligation. Right now, the CJ, who should be a neutral arbiter, because at the end of the day, there could be cases in court, right? Yes. And even go all the way to Supreme Court where she sits. And she sat at that. There are 2 things to this leader. One, if the election failed as a process, she was part of it.
Yes.
Second thing, if there's something that needs to be taken to court, she'll listen to it.
Yes.
So she aided a process that failed because she was part of it.
Yes.
You're not seeing that, all you want to see her out as members of the UDA party.
No. In fact, the first letter that UDA wrote was trying to create, if you get a letter, it was
From Veronica?
From Veronica.
Yes, I saw it.
It was saying, number 1, let me even start from here, as a preamble. Our government has used, not once, on a number of occasions, on this animal called multi-sectoral agency. You are a lawyer. That is not found in any piece of statute or the Constitution. But it was more like the executive doing it, so we have no problem. I mean, you know, if the executive wants to have like a subcommittee of cabinet. Mm-hmm. But now this one is very, very serious. And why it is very serious is that there is no provision. The Constitution created independent offices, Article 251, I think, 252. So IEBC is the only body that will manage, that will conduct, that will register voters, that will announce results from MCA to the president.
Exactly.
And in that mandate, they will work with other stakeholders. So it is IEBC even will say, this election, based on the number of polling stations, we require this number of policemen. Mm-hmm. The Inspector General of Police or the Minister for Interior cannot say, you require this number. So we told the Chief Justice, I think that is not your place, for two reasons. Mm-hmm. One, that is a function of IEBC. It's not a function of the judiciary. Secondly, people must listen and get it right. Yes. Justice Maraga and even Justice Willie Mutunga, under their leadership, there is always a committee within the judiciary that deals with elections. Currently, Judge Mohammed of the Supreme Court is the chair. Yes. You know, on legislation, there's the time for listening to cases. Is it for the presidential 14 days? Is it enough? Okay. Mm-hmm. How do we do administratively? Does a judge in this county can handle the gubernatorial by-elections in the same county? Mm-hmm. Look at its security. How do we reallocate judges during petitions? Yeah. So Judge Maraga and Willie Mutunga, that was a function they used to sometimes delegate to the chairs. Used to delegate, yes. Then people are confusing us, and you know, I was shocked the Chief Justice saying it, Mother Kome, that I am the chair of the National Council for Administrative Justice. I 100% agree. Even the clerk to the National Assembly is a member. The DPP is a member. The Correction Service is a member. Yeah. That's a different, I mean, she is chairs. Okay. But there's no way the Chief Justice can sit with the executive and IBC tomorrow. I mean, she cannot participate, as you said, in the preparation of elections and then become a judicial officer who will be an arbiter in election disputes. Yeah. And I think yesterday, if you listen to one of the lawyers, Danson Omari, said, in fact, somebody in an election petition, presidential, somebody can cite that and say, exactly, yeah. So, but you are part of it, yeah, of this failure. Yes. So, but I think now that IBC has withdrawn formally from that committee, then I don't think it can exist. In your mind, how long has this committee existed? And secondly, I don't know, I'm told 1 month, but again, look at it. The multi-sectoral, is it usually every election it has to exist? No. It is the first time. I mean, it's the first time. I mean, exactly. But I think the other thing that, which is very, very important, and I had a problem with, this multi-sectoral is dealing with budget or funding. This multi-sectoral is dealing with legislation. Today, if the judiciary wants to have some amendments to the Judicial Service Act, they directly deal with the JLAC Committee of the National Assembly. Yes. If IPC wants to have certain laws changed for better management of the election, they will have to deal with the JLAC. So there's no way in a corner we have a multi-sectoral team that will decide how much money. The powers of the budget is the National Assembly. I mean, we are running out of time. Yes. Your point is made. 1 month you said this has existed. In my mind, the IBC has participated. The IBC withdrew as soon as... I think they participated in one meeting, the first one. And that's what I heard Chebukati say. As soon as you made the statement, the UDA party made the statement, Chebukati withdrew. And now there are concerns that Chebukati is listening to UDA. No, you read our letter. Our letter could come from any Kenyan. Our letter could come from ODM. our letter could come from ANC.
Okay.
We are a serious party.
Okay.
And that's why I'm telling you, we are the party and the leadership to beat in the next election.
Year.
So we don't want to leave anything to chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
We are wide awake.
And this,
we don't sleep.
This usually happens during the election.
And you read our letter. Read our letter.
I've read the
letter.
letter.
Yeah, the serious letter.
Yeah. All right. Even as we end the show, let's take a look at tomorrow's headlines today. The Standard newspaper for tomorrow. IEBC fires a warning shot. On Monday, IEBC quit a multi-sectoral team on poor preparedness. Now Chebukati reveals that the team had wanted it to report of its undertakings, thereby usurping the mandate. That's the reason why they have quit. So that's tomorrow's headline. Today we still have other stories, including the one from Nakuru, Uhuru granting a charter to the president, and confusion in mapping the schools. Very important story in the Standard. Putin's red line warning, raising debt ceiling, all the stories we've carried for you today. And
and the president scoffs.
Yes, exactly. Scoffs are sponsors who prey on our girls. And the ones, 8th day, very important indeed. Thank you, leader, for coming this evening and sharing your perspective. Always a pleasure. Aiden Duale coming to my shop. Hope to see you again. Probably it's December. So yes. If I don't see you again.
No, this time we need to go with you to my camel farm.
Oh, nice. We drink the milk.
Please, yes. And
my boss is listening.
And you do a show from there.
Oh, from the camel farm?
Yeah.
Oh,
many
nice.
of your guys have done it. So this time I want you guys.
I'll drink the milk for free. Thank you, Duale, for coming and sharing your perspective, and all the best. I wanted to talk about Mwaura, but we are out of time. And the thing is, celebrations when you come. My name is Ken Mijungu. On behalf of the whole team right here on News Hour and KTN, revamped KTN News, thank you very much for watching. Let's do this again next week, same place, same time. But tomorrow, we're back on air with more exciting and interesting things. Have a good night and God bless.